My mom screamed, "If you're so smart, then pay your own bills." So I packed my bag and walked out that same night. 30 days later, she called me sobbing. "The lights are off. What did you do?" And for the first time in my life, I didn't fix it. I was still in my work uniform when it happened. Grease stains on my shirt. Feet aching from a double shift. Head pounding from pretending everything was fine all day. I hadn't even taken my shoes off when my mom slammed a stack of envelopes onto the kitchen table. Red ink. Past due stamps. Final notices. She didn't ask how work was. She didn't ask if I'd eaten. She didn't even look at my face. She just stared at me like I was a disappointment that had learned how to breathe. "I already paid the last two," I said quietly, staring at the numbers. She laughed. Not a funny laugh. The kind that cuts. "Then pay the rest," she snapped. "If you're so educated. So independent. So grown." She stepped closer. "Prove it. Pay your own bills." Something inside me cracked. Not loudly. Not dramatically. It just broke. My name is Sarah. I was 22 years old, and I'd been paying my mother's bills since I was 16. After my dad left, he didn't just abandon her. He abandoned me. He left behind an apartment, a photo frame, and a woman who slowly turned grief into control. She used to be kind. She used to laugh. Then the bills started piling up. Every shut-off notice became my fault. Every broken appliance was my responsibility. Every bad decision she made somehow landed in my lap. When I got my first part-time job, she took my debit card for safekeeping. "We're a team," she'd say. What she meant was, you pay, I decide. By the time I started college, team meant me. She stopped working consistently. Started figuring things out. Started depending on my scholarships. My student loans. My side jobs. If I complained, she'd say, "Do you want us homeless? Your father already abandoned us." At least I stayed. So I stayed too. I worked nights. Studied at dawn. Handed over every paycheck. And every time I tried to set a boundary, she twisted it. "You think you're better than me because you go to college. You're so selfish. You owe me." My achievements felt like insults to her. So when she screamed, "Pay your own bills," it wasn't really about electricity. It was about power. And for the first time, I decided to take mine back. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I walked to my room, grabbed my backpack, stuffed in clothes, my laptop, and the only framed photo I had of me and my dad. My hands were shaking. But my mind had never been clearer. She followed me down the hallway. "Where do you think you're going?" "You told me to pay my own bills," I said quietly. "So I'm going to live my own life." I walked out. She slammed the door behind me. And I didn't look back. I slept on my friend Lily's couch that night. We sat in silence, the room lit only by streetlight bleeding through the blinds. "You finally left," Lily whispered. "You should have done it years ago." "I know," I said. But there was one problem. My name was still on everything. The lease. The power. The internet. If she stopped paying, it would come back on me. And that's when something shifted. A few days later, I went back to grab the rest of my things while she was out. That's when I saw the envelope. Thick. Official. With my name on it. Not hers. Mine. I opened it. And my stomach dropped. It wasn't just the power bill. It was a credit card. One I had never opened. Thousands of dollars. In my name. I stood alone in that apartment, staring at the proof. This wasn't a struggling mom leaning on her daughter. This was betrayal. And that was the moment my escape turned into a plan. I gathered every envelope. Every notice. Every statement. And ran back to Lily's place. We spread them across the table like evidence in a crime scene. Clothing stores I'd never shopped at. Cash advances. Late-night food orders across town. All in my name. "She opened credit cards using your identity," Lily said, stunned. "Sarah, this is illegal." She's my mom, I whispered. But even saying it felt weak. That night, while Lily slept, I pulled my credit report. Each line felt like a punch. Utilities. Loans. Cards. I wrote everything down. Account numbers. Dates. Balances. I screenshotted old texts. Saved voicemails. Recorded proof. For the first time, I stopped protecting her. The next day, I went to a free legal clinic. The woman behind the desk reviewed everything. "This is serious," she said calmly. "You can dispute these. You can file fraud. You can press charges." "Against my own mother?" I whispered. "Against the person who stole your identity," she corrected. That night, I opened a new bank account. Changed my direct deposit. Called the utility company. "Please remove me from the electricity account." The woman paused. "If you're removed, the remaining account holder will be fully responsible. If unpaid, service will be disconnected." "I understand," I said. And for the first time in my life, I meant it. Because the bills were about to come due. And this time, I wasn't saving her. 30 days later, my phone lit up with her name. She was screaming. "The power is off. What did you do?" And I finally said the words she never thought I would. "I didn't do anything. I just stopped paying for you." But that phone call was only the beginning. Because next, she tried to destroy my reputation. And that's when I exposed everything. When my mom called, she didn't say hello. She didn't ask where I was. She didn't even pretend to care. She screamed into the phone like I'd committed a crime. "Sarah. Why is the power off? What did you do?" I sat on the edge of my bed in the tiny room I was renting, still wearing my work socks, a stack of folded uniforms beside me. And for a split second, I felt that old reflex. The one she trained into me. Fix it. Pay it. Apologize. Calm her down. But then I remembered the red envelopes. The debt. My name. My future. And I took a slow breath. "Did you pay the electric bill?" I asked. She made this angry choking sound like I'd slapped her with the truth. "Don't start with me. You always handled it." "No," I said, steady. "I always covered it." They said, her voice dropped for half a second, like she couldn't believe the words she was repeating. "They said the account holder removed herself. There's a past due balance. They said service won't be restored unless someone pays." "Right," I said. "That's how bills work." Her breathing got louder, harsher. "You did this to punish me." "I didn't do anything to you," I said. "I just stopped doing it for you." Silence hit the line like a wall. Then her voice came back lower, meaner. "So you're really going to abandon me in the dark?" I laughed once, short, tired, not amused. "You weren't in the dark," I said. "You were comfortable. You just weren't comfortable without me paying for it." That set her off. "You ungrateful little, after everything I sacrificed, after your father walked out, I stayed." "You stayed," I said, "and turned me into your emergency fund." She went quiet again. And I swear, I could hear her thinking. Because my mom didn't just scream. She calculated. And then she switched tactics. "Sarah," she said in a smaller voice. "You wouldn't do this. You wouldn't bring strangers into our business." "Our business?" I repeated. "You made it my business the second you put everything in my name." Her voice sharpened again, panic turning into threat. "If you don't fix this," she hissed, "I'll tell the whole family what you did. I'll make sure everyone knows you're selfish. That you abandoned your own mother." And there it was. Her favorite weapon. Control the story. Make me the villain so she could stay the victim. A few years ago, that threat would have worked. I would have rushed over with my card, paid the bill, and apologized for existing. But this time? I was ready. "Go ahead," I said. She froze. "What?" "Tell them," I said calmly. "Because I'm done being your secret." The line crackled with her stunned breathing. And then she said the thing she thought would break me. "They'll hate you. I stared at my wall, my hands shaking, not from fear. From adrenaline. Then I'll show them the proof, I said. She whispered my name like it was a warning. Sarah, and that's when I made a decision that changed everything. I'm coming to Aunt Denise's house tonight, I said. Invite whoever you want. You. Them. Anybody. I'll bring everything. You're bluffing, she snapped. I'm not, I said. And if you lie one more time, I won't just dispute the accounts. I'll file the report the way my lawyer told me to. That last word, lawyer, sucked the air out of her voice. Because she knew. She knew what she did wasn't family stuff. It was a crime. That night, I walked into my aunt's house with a folder. Not a cute little folder. A thick, ugly, heavy folder. The kind that holds the truth people bury. My Aunt Denise opened the door and gave me that disappointed face, already convinced I was the problem. My mom was sitting on the couch, wrapped in a sweater like a fragile wounded saint. She didn't look at me. She stared at the floor like she was suffering. My aunt didn't waste time. Sarah, this has gone far enough. Your mother's embarrassed to even say how bad things are. You can't just walk out like that. I nodded slowly. You're right, I said. It has gone far enough. Then I walked to the coffee table and placed the folder down like I was setting a weapon. My mom's eyes flicked up. Her face tightened. Because she recognized it. Don't you dare, she said low. I ignored her. I opened the folder. And started laying the papers out. Electric bills with my name. Credit card statements. A personal loan application. My credit report, page after page, showing my score dying in real time. My aunt's voice trailed off. What is this? This, I said, is why I left. My mom shot up like her body was fueled by rage. She's lying, she shouted. She did that herself to make me look bad. I turned my head slowly and looked straight at her. Mom, I said, you forged my signature. My aunt grabbed one sheet, hands trembling as she read. This account, it's in your name, Sarah. Every single one, I said. Opened without my knowledge. Used without my consent. My mom lunged for the papers, but my aunt held them tighter. Cynthia, my aunt said, voice shaking. Is this true? My mom's eyes flashed. Then she tried the oldest trick in the book. We're family, she snapped. Kids help their parents. That's how it works. My aunt's face changed. Not sympathy. Anger. No, my aunt said. Parents don't destroy their children's futures and call it love. My mom's mouth opened like she couldn't believe the betrayal. And then she looked at me with pure venom. You're doing this to punish me. I swallowed the lump in my throat. No, I said. I'm doing this to survive you. Then the doorbell rang. My aunt frowned. Who's that? My mom turned her head, suspicious. And I felt my heart banging in my chest. Because this part? This was the part that made it real. I asked someone to stop by, I said quietly. My mom's eyes narrowed. Who? The door opened. And a man stepped inside with a clipboard. My mom's landlord. He looked uncomfortable, like he wished he was anywhere else. But his voice was firm. Evening, he said. I won't take long. I just needed to confirm something. He looked at me first. Sarah, you're officially removed from the lease starting next month. The paperwork is processed. My mom's face drained. Removed, she whispered. The landlord nodded. From then on, the lease will be solely under Cynthia's name. My mom's hands started shaking. The landlord cleared his throat. However, there is an outstanding balance. Multiple notices were sent. If it's not paid by the deadline, we will have to proceed with eviction. My mom's eyes snapped to me like she wanted to set me on fire. Eviction, she shrieked. My aunt stood frozen. You told me she was just being dramatic, my aunt said, voice hollow. You told me she abandoned you. My mom's face twisted. She did. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. No, I said. I just stopped being your shield. My mom stepped toward me. Slow. Dangerous. You're throwing me out of my home, she whispered. I stared right back. No, I said. I'm letting your choices finally reach you. Her eyes filled with tears. But not the soft kind. The angry kind. The ones she used like a tool. You think you're so smart, she whispered. You think you're winning. I felt my throat tighten. But I didn't back down. This isn't winning, I said. This is me not losing anymore. My aunt's voice cracked. Cynthia, why would you do this to her? My mom's mouth opened. And for a second, she looked like she might tell the truth. Then her face hardened again. She owes me, she snapped. And that was the moment my aunt finally saw what I saw. Not a struggling mother. A woman who believed she owned her child. My mom stormed out of my aunt's house that night. But she didn't go quietly. Because the next morning, she posted on Facebook. And turned the whole family against me. She told them I stole from her. She told them I ruined her life. And she did it loud enough that even my job got dragged into it. But she forgot something, I had receipts. And I wasn't scared anymore. I woke up the next morning to my phone vibrating non-stop. At first, I thought it was my alarm. Then I saw the notifications. Missed calls. Texts. Tagged posts. My heart dropped. Because I already knew. She didn't come for me privately. She came for me publicly. My mom had posted on Facebook sometime around 6:12 a.m. A long post. All caps in places. Full victim mode. I never thought my own daughter would do this to me. After everything I sacrificed, she walked out, stole money from me, and left me without power. I raised her alone. I gave her everything. And this is how she repays me. Then came the comments. Family members. Church friends. People I hadn't seen since childhood. How could you? Family doesn't do this. She's still your mother. Money isn't worth destroying a family. My stomach twisted. Not because they believed her. But because this was the story she'd been practicing for years. And now she was finally telling it without me there to clean it up. Then my phone rang. My Aunt Denise. I answered. Sarah, she said, voice tight. People are calling me. Your mom is telling everyone you stole from her. I laughed once. Bitter. Of course she is. She tagged your workplace, my aunt added. That's when my blood went cold. What? I said. She didn't say much, my aunt continued. Just. I hope your employer is proud of how their staff treats family. I sat straight up in bed. That crossed a line. My mom didn't just want sympathy anymore. She wanted leverage. The call from work came an hour later. HR, polite. Calm. Dangerous. Sarah, the woman said, we received a message regarding a personal dispute that mentioned your name and our organization. We just want to check in. I took a breath. I can explain, I said. We'd appreciate that, she replied. Today. I showed up to work with my folder. The same one. This time, thicker. HR sat across from me, listening quietly as I laid everything out. The bills. The forged signatures. The disputed accounts. The fraud report. I didn't cry. I didn't apologize. I didn't beg. I just told the truth. When I finished, the HR manager leaned back slowly. I'm sorry this is happening to you, she said. And for what it's worth, thank you for being transparent. Then she added something that shocked me. If your mother contacts us again, please let us know immediately. This isn't appropriate, and we won't tolerate harassment. For the first time in days, I felt something loosen in my chest. She thought she could scare me into silence. She was wrong. By that afternoon, the family group chat exploded. Cousins. Aunts. Uncles. Some angry. Some confused. Some suddenly quiet. One message stood out. From my cousin Rachel. I saw your mom's post. This doesn't sound like you. Do you have proof? I stared at the screen for a long moment. Then I typed back, yes. All of it. And I attached one screenshot. Just one. A credit card statement in my name. The typing bubbles stopped. Then my Aunt Denise replied. Sarah didn't steal anything. I saw the documents. This is not what Cynthia told us. That was the crack. Then another. Wait, you opened accounts in her name? Is this true? My mom started typing furiously. Message after message. Deflecting. Blaming. Crying. She's exaggerating. She agreed to help. She's twisting everything. So I did something I'd never done before. I stopped protecting her. I sent the full folder. To the group. No commentary. No insults. Just facts. And then I muted the chat. That night, my phone rang again, unknown number. I answered. Sarah, my mom said quietly. Not screaming. Not crying. Quiet. You embarrassed me. I leaned against the kitchen counter. You embarrassed yourself. They're looking at me like I'm a criminal, she snapped. You committed fraud, I replied. What did you expect? She inhaled sharply. You think this is over? No, I said. I think it's just starting. Her voice dropped into something colder. You don't understand what you've done. I understand perfectly, I said. You taught me. Silence. Then she said the sentence that ended everything. If you don't fix this, she whispered, I'll make sure you regret being born. I didn't respond. I just hung up. And then I did the one thing I'd been avoiding. I called the legal clinic back. The next step wasn't revenge, it was protection. I filed the formal fraud affidavit. I submitted the identity theft report. I followed the process all the way through. Every signature. Every account. Every lie. And once it was done, I blocked her. Every number. Every social media account. Everything. 2 days later, my Aunt Denise called. Her voice was shaken. They posted an eviction notice on her door, she said. I closed my eyes. I know. She's telling people it's your fault, my aunt added. But, no one's really listening anymore. I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel victorious. I felt tired. But I also felt something else. Free. I thought the worst was over. I thought she'd spiral quietly. I was wrong. Because the day the movers came, she called me one last time. From a neighbor's phone. With sirens in the background. And she asked me a question I never expected. Do you still love me? And my answer changed everything. The call came from an unknown number. I almost ignored it. Something told me not to. Hello? I said. It was her. My mom. Her voice sounded smaller than I'd ever heard it. Thin. Hollow. Like all the anger had finally burned itself out. It's me, she said. I'm using the neighbor's phone. I didn't respond. In the background, I heard movement. Voices. Metal scraping concrete. They were there. They're putting my things outside, she whispered. The couch. The table. Your old dresser. I closed my eyes. I didn't picture it. I didn't need to. I just thought, she continued, her voice breaking, you might want to see what your decisions caused. My decisions. I leaned against the wall, heart pounding but steady. You mean your choices, I said calmly. Silence. Then she asked the question. Are you happy now? I swallowed. This was never about happiness, I said. It was about survival. She laughed bitterly. The power's gone. The lease is gone. Everyone knows what I did. You win. I shook my head even though she couldn't see it. This was never a game, I said. You told me to pay my own bills. I did. And I stopped paying yours. Her breathing grew uneven. I didn't think you'd actually do it, she said. That's the problem, I replied. You never thought I'd stop. In the background, a man's voice said, Ma'am, we need you to sign this. Her breath hitched. I just wanted you to come back, she said. I thought once things got bad enough, you would. That sentence hit harder than any insult she'd ever thrown at me. You wanted me desperate, I said quietly. So I'd stay. She didn't deny it. Instead, she asked something else. Do you still love me? That was the moment. The one she thought would crack me. I closed my eyes and told the truth. Yes, I said softly. I do. She exhaled, like she'd won something. But loving you, I continued, doesn't mean letting you destroy me. The silence on the line felt heavy. You could still fix this, she whispered. Just help me one more time. No, I said. That's the old cycle. And it ends here. She started crying then. Real crying. Ugly. Broken. I'm your mother, she said. How can you do this to me? I didn't do this to you, I answered. I stopped doing it for you. Another pause. Longer this time. You'll regret this, she said weakly. One day. I thought about the nights I cried over bills I didn't create. The years of guilt. The fear of saying no. I already regret something, I said. I regret staying as long as I did. Her breathing slowed. Somewhere behind her, a door slammed. They're finished, she said quietly. I nodded to myself. I hope one day you pay your bills, I told her. And your debts. Not just the money ones. She didn't answer. The line went dead. After that, everything went quiet, no more calls. No more posts. No more threats. The fraud cases moved forward. Some accounts were wiped. Others went into investigation. My credit didn't magically heal overnight. But it stopped bleeding. I got my own place. Small. Quiet. Mine. I slept better than I had in years. I stopped flinching when my phone rang. I stopped feeling guilty for breathing. The truth no one tells you walking away doesn't feel powerful at first. It feels lonely. It feels wrong. It feels like you're the villain. But then something happens. You realize peace isn't loud. It doesn't scream. It doesn't beg. It just exists. She once yelled at me, if you're so smart, pay your own bills. So I did. And for the first time in her life, she had to pay hers. If you stayed until the end, thank you. If you've ever been told you owe someone your future just because they raised you, remember this, love doesn't come with invoices. And choosing yourself isn't revenge. It's freedom.